How's it going, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you guys a list of long blooming plants that I made, and then I'm going to show you guys those plants used in these really cool landscape designs. So I'm going to show you guys a screen recording, circle the plants, talk about each one, and tell you guys why it works so well. So let's get right into this video, and yeah. Alright guys, in this video you'll see Agustachi, you'll see yarrows, you'll see nepitas, you'll see Russian sage, and a lot of coneflowers. You'll see a lot of salvias. You'll see balloon flowers, but those will be on my mound. You'll also see some sedums, and the other plants might be mentioned, but these plants bloom for multiple months. So I wanted a list that I'm like experienced with, so there's a lot more than this, but you'll see other ones, but they might not bloom for multiple months. Which, like, you got a lot of butterfly milkweed right here, and it blooms for a solid month, but it doesn't bloom for multiple months. So starting off with this one, you don't really see any structural things, like you don't see any multi-stem trees or trees in general, just a lot of plants. So very, very plant and flower heavy. Really nothing that's amazing foliage, just straight flowers, which makes for a great design. Of course, my battery's at 5% here. So the first plant that I want to highlight is yarrow. You'll see this large patch right here, which really is only like 7 plants. You'll see another patch right back there, and then there might be a little bit more mixed in. And of course, with this many plants, they do block out the weeds, but they won't kill each other. Like if you had shrubs this close together, they'd be smothering each other. But these right here are coneflowers, a different variety other than just the typical one. As you can see, those are a little bit more like wispy or whatever you would call them. These right here are penstemon. So you see how there's like a big patch and then there's just 2 right there. Not really the typical group of 3 on the left. So there might be another one further to the left that you don't see. But that kind of adds to like the wildness of it. Because obviously this isn't an ordinary garden. It still looks very, very nice. There's color everywhere. So again, these are the butterfly milkweeds. The orange is just going to pop. No matter where you put those, you're going to see them from a mile away because orange is a unique color. The yellow kind of hides itself, but again, that plant right there is going to be great for pollinators. Probably a black-eyed Susan. If you wanted to, you could put a different type of yarrow, and that's going to be very long blooming for you. I thought about adding black-eyed Susans, but I don't have that much experience. This right here, this plant could be multiple different things. It could be a lavender, could be an artemisia. You could put lamb's ear in place of this, but it could be also Russian sage. You see some ornamental grasses here, but not very many. Not very grass heavy, and if there are grasses, then this one right here is just so floriferous. It's a big word, I know. You see the penstemon there. It also, the penstemon will give you some winter interest because the stalks will stay there, as well as the yarrow, and the coneflowers. Those will stay up. The butterfly milkweed will stay up, but that's going to be it for this one. Okay, now with this next one I'm going to show you, it's got some hardscaping. We can remove those layers, but it's got some hardscaping, pathways and stuff like that. And now it's got 4 trees. If you look at these trees, they're either a cherry, which would be like a prunus, or some sort of crab apple. I'm assuming these are crab apples or apples of some sort. So it'll give you structure throughout the whole year, but they'll be blooming in spring. You got ornamental grasses in the back, and the 4 things that I just circled are nepitas. Then you've got roses, which are also pretty long blooming. You got some more roses and different things hidden throughout there. This is very simple, as far as design goes, pretty simple. You've got some salvias in the back. I don't know what the purple plant is, but then you've got maybe like a lady's mantle, alchemilla. As far as the background goes, you've got trees and then a nice sunset in the background. And so just a really nice garden. A lot of ornamental grasses in this one. I really wish I could put the video of this right here, but you've got phlox, Russian sage. In the middle, you've got some Agustachi, and then you've got salvias. Throughout the rest of this garden, there's a lot of yarrows, and then there might be a little bit of verbena. It's a terrible picture, so let's move on to the next one. Alright guys, looking at this tree in the background, we'll start with that. That is definitely some sort of cherry. That one's going to give you some cool looking bark. That one's multi-stem, but will really give you a lot of flowers in the spring, probably. You've got Carl Forester grass, cone flowers, asters. This is a lot of Cecularia grass, and then another type of aster, I'm assuming, which you could trade out the Cecularia grass for ajuga or lamium or something like that, but I believe this is probably a full sun garden. And there's also some Agusachi, which I failed to mention, but this pattern right here is definitely a repeating pattern. This one, again, there's no structure. The plants are giving it all, but you've got some ornamental grasses, which will catch the light amazingly. You've got some asters, salvias. This is Agusachi and coneflowers used yet again. Such a long blooming combination. I don't really know what this yellow is. Very vibrant and bright. That one could be a number of things. And then you've got ornamental grass. Down here, you've got Eryngium, which I'm hoping to sell for the very first time. More coneflowers in the back, and as far as the backdrop, you've got a nice sunset with a patch of trees and another ornamental grass down low, but that's going to be it for this one. The same pattern repeating. Front and center, you've got a serviceberry tree, which will flower in the spring. These ginkgos will give you a really nice structure with the branches and fall color. The pathway is really nice. The plants, as you can see, aren't very floriferous like the first couple of pictures that I showed you guys, but it's very freeing having a garden like this. You can have a dandelion in there and you don't have to pick it because, you know, your eye isn't drawn to it. It can just kind of blend in. Alright guys, you'll see these big patches of Russian sage, which is very easy to make because literally it's probably only a couple plants in each patch other than maybe the middle patch. These plants will get 3 to 4 foot tall, around 3 to 4 foot wide, so you only need a couple in each patch. You'll see a group of pink plants, and that could be Agusachi, and it could be a multitude of other things. But then the big trees in the background, I'm not even going to get into those because those are probably thousands of dollars each. You'll see coneflowers and some other things mixed in, maybe some lady's mantle, and then you'll see some sedums, which I circled there, and then front. You could mix those with, you could change those out for many things like penstemon, but let's get on to the next one. Don't worry guys, I'm not going back to this one. I'm going to show you guys my mound right here, which is full of long bloomers. So as you can see right in the center, I've got Firefly, Peach Sky, Yarrow, a big drift of them. And then they just bloomed from, this is like June, all the way till, like they had blooms that still held their color in December, but it was a very late and mild winter at the beginning. So then you've got salvias, and then that's 3 Agusachi, anise hyssop, black adders, and then you've got like 9 more behind them, which got like way bigger. And then you've got 3 and then 1 on the left, 3 on the right of the Shasta daisies, some phlox to the right. Back there you've got a weeping white spruce, and then a balloon flower, which is in the list. Monarda, which isn't in the list, but it's it's one of the best looking plants when it's in bloom. And then you got 3 penstemons back there, which should shoot up kind of like a rocket. I mean, it's like a 3 foot tall, 2 or 3 foot tall flower. Should really give you some different texture, and then that dark foliage should really pop. Also, perfect flower for hummingbirds with the trumpet shaped flowers. So that's basically it. To the right, I've got alliums and ornamental grasses. To the left, I've got a nepeta. But I've got some empty space on this mound, but I'm trying my best to be very, very specific on what I plant on this mound. In the back there on another mound, I've got a smoke bush, which is perfect for these types of gardens and for the backdrop of this mound. And then you've got the trees and the sky in the background too, which really adds to it. And then my pumpkin patch and shade house and everything else. All right, so this mound right here is very exciting. You've got basically 3 plants. This is hot and cold Nyphophia, red hot pokers, and then you've got a big drift of yarrow. I mean, 3 varieties right here. So you've got the yellow ones, which is moonshine probably, firefly, peach sky in the center, and then another big drift in the back. In the front, that's some sort of annual, I imagine. And so literally, you don't even need the annuals. You could replace that with something else. But it's all Achilles. The Firefly series, basically. I'm going to have a lot of yarrows this year. Super, super long bloomers, and I recommend this plant so much. I mean, it's very, very simple. If you don't know what's a weed and what's not, having like 3 types of plants is going to help you a lot, and it's going to bring super big impact. Guys, don't think about it too much. Just go with a few plants. Mix in some things. I mean, you've only got like 6, maybe 8 pokers. I don't even know how many's in that big patch there. And then as far as the Firefly Peach Sky, I mean, you've got 9, 10 plants maybe. And then on the big patch right there, I don't even know how many's there, but you've got like 15. In the back, you've probably got another 15. Those are some big numbers, but it really saves you guys the headaches. And you can space them out a little bit further, but planting them together will block out the weeds. Maybe hold in some moisture and just give you a better impact. It just kind of depends on what you're going for. There's a lot of lines now, I know, but just kind of ignore those. I'll delete that right now. But just look at this from a distance. I mean, that you can't really get any better than that. The red hot pokers, those are super long blooming, and they'll bloom multiple times. You could even add in like smaller trees, like you could add in some cherries or something, but these are full sun plants. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video. If you like it, then comment down below. Tell me what you want me to make next. I've got some ideas, but let me know if you want me to do something specific or if I should draw and design my own gardens based on this video.